What's going on, y'all? You know, there's some amazing brands out there today, but if I had to only pick one brand to use for all my details going forward, well, one of my top two choices would be Koch Chemie. Guys, today we're gonna use only Koch Chemie products to detail this amazing F250. Let's get after it. All right, guys, so we got the mats out of the vehicle. We're gonna take our Rag Company blow tool and get the mats blown off and then vacuum them really well. We are gonna use one product that is not a Koch Chemie product today, so I'm doing a little bit of cheating, but it's a brand new product. It's the P&S Vacuum Aid, and I've heard amazing things about it. So I haven't used it yet and I wanna try it. So guys, we're gonna use this as well. But other than that, it's only gonna be Koch Chemie products today. So pretty cool. I haven't done a full detail of only Koch Chemie products, and I love their stuff, y'all. Let's go. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and spray on Vacuum Aid. It's got a pretty nice fresh scent to it. All right, so we sprayed that on. That helps with odors. It's gonna help us get the last of the vacuuming really easily. I've heard it makes it super, super slick. So kind of cool. All right, so while that's setting here, we're gonna go ahead and do the other two mats. All right, so we're back to the first mat. We've let it set for a little while. Let's see if it's easier to get the last of the hair and debris. You know, this is not a, there's not like a ton of pet hair on it or anything, so it might not have been the best test for it, but yeah, let's give it a shot. Okay, so far, did it loosen and allow pet hair to vacuum more easily? Yeah. So did it work as advertised? Yeah, I would say it did. I would love to see it on a particularly dirty, hairy, more more pet fur on it. So kind of see how well that works on it. But yeah, so far pleased with it. All right, y'all. So we got the mats all done. So let's go ahead and get the inside cleaned up. So this is a vehicle that I detailed and ceramic coated back about 3 months ago, a little over 3 months ago. So it's always nice when you get back to vehicles you've done before. You know, you can always tell I've been there. It's a little cleaner each time. The inside is vacuumed, blown out. We now need to get all the surfaces wiped. So we're gonna grab Koch Chemie Polestar, and I actually already have that diluted at this ratio in a pump sprayer. So let me grab that. Here we go. So here is our Polestar in the Koch Chemie pump sprayer, and we're gonna be using that for the interior. We're gonna use that along with a Koch Chemie interior scrubber Man, we're going all in on the Koch Chemie full detail today. I wanted to try that, do a series where I do full details of entire product line. So this one, of course, is one of the GOATs, one of my favorite, Koch Chemie. And then we'll move on to some other ones coming up soon. So yeah, if you have any suggestions of a full product detail you would like to see me do, definitely let me know in the comments below, y'all. All right, so we're gonna use, like I said, the interior scrubber and some good old rag company microfiber. We also will probably use a brush at some point for some of the crevices. But you know, y'all, if you're using a brush to do the entire interior of your car, it might look cool, but that is certainly not practical. And I don't have that kind of time. I don't know about you, so don't do it. Y'all use an interior scrubber like this. There's some good ones, some Scrub Ninjas. That's by Microfiber. They make a great one as well. So y'all, whatever you use something like that. It'll save you a ton of time. All right, let's go. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started. I like to start in the driver's seat. All right, so we're going to pump this out. What's great is it does go ahead and make some nice foam for you, and so you can just foam it onto the scrubber and go ahead and clean your vehicle. All right, let's cue some great detailing music. Go. So, fun fact about Polestar, it is, this pump sprayer is getting away from me. So it is safe on all surfaces, even leather and Alcantara. Although I will say, you know, just always use caution, guys. And of course, you know, there's different dilution ratios that are a little more well suited for the different surfaces. So check the bottle, check the dilution ratios, and always, I recommend starting more mild than you need. The last thing you want to do is end up removing dye or just messing up the material. So always use your best judgment with that. Also, you know, any of these products too, if you let them dry completely on the surface, that also can sometimes cause streaking. So in the cup holder, this is where we're going to use the brush a little bit. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get the rest of the interior all detailed. All right, y'all, so we're done with the interior. I'm gonna go ahead and put the mats back in the vehicle so we can basically be done with the interior. Just come back and hit the door jambs and windows after. All right, let's go. Okay, so now it's time to get the wheels and tires all clean. For that, we had, you know, really two options for Koch Chemie. We have their Magic Wheel Cleaner, which is a great wheel cleaner with rust remover built into it. But I haven't actually used this alkali wheel cleaner yet. I've heard amazing things. I hear it's really, really good. So this can actually be used for wheels and tires. I typically will use a separate wheel and tire cleaner. I just feel like some dedicated wheel and tire cleaners do better at their specific purpose than a general, but hey, I haven't used this yet, so let's give it a shot. Definitely one of my favorites of all time for wheels and tires in a combo is the P&S Brake Buster. I think that's really good and great value. P&S makes some amazing products, but this isn't about P&S today. This is Koch Chemie, so let's get back after it. We're gonna use the alkali wheel cleaner. We'll go 1 to 5. All right, so we said we're gonna use the alkali wheel cleaner. We're gonna put that in the IK foam sprayer, but in the wheel and tire bucket, you know, some people don't put anything in their wheel and tire bucket. They just have water. That's honestly stresses me out. So I don't. I either use a dedicated wheel soap, or in this case, we're using Koch Chemie. And since they don't necessarily have a dedicated wheel soap per se, I like to use some Gentle Snow Foam and a little bit of Green Star. Just a little bit of Green Star. Adds it kind of a little bit of more, adds a little bit more cleaning power to the pH neutral snow foam. Yeah, let's get our bucket ready. We're going to prep the IK sprayer with our alkali wheel cleaner. We're going to do that a little weaker than a 1:5 ratio. All right, so we have our IK sprayer. We're going to fill this up halfway with water. I don't think we need a full IK full. All right, so we got the wheel cleaner in here. Let's go get these wheels cleaned up. All right, y'all, so the wheels and tires are all done. We're to the exterior. And so we're gonna be using some of these guys. In fact, we're gonna use all three of them because why not? We're gonna pre-foam it with Actifoam, and then we're going to refoam it with GFX, Gentle Snow Foam Christmas, which is this is really my absolute favorite, but this would be if they had it around the whole year. So this is their Christmas variant of the Gentle Snow Foam. And so normal Gentle Snow Foam, if you haven't used it, is kind of a really nice cherry scent. And this just smells like Christmas in a bottle, and it's absolutely amazing. we're now done with, where's our Actifoam? We're now done with our Actifoam. Put that up. All right, and so we're now gonna get foam cannon. It was rinsed out. And we're gonna fill it up now with the Gentle Snow Foam Christmas. I love it. And guys, when you use it in a foam cannon, it just makes everything smell like Christmas everywhere. I usually measure everything out in measuring cups, and to be honest, it stresses me out a little bit not measuring, but I'm going to use the Anthony from Rag Company glug glug method. So Anthony, here's to you with your glug glug method. So we already have Gentle Snow Foam in our bucket, so that's good to go. So let's get the vehicle foamed up, and then we'll do our contact wash. So for those of you that don't have one of these Werner ladders, I believe Gator has one as well. They're not quite as good, but those are great. All right, y'all, so we're gonna add a little bit of protection on our coating. And so a product I don't use all that often, and I don't know why because it's really quite amazing, is the SO03 hydrofoam sealant. So this is a product that you foam on the vehicle with a foam cannon and let sit for just a little bit, and then we rinse it off. So you dilute at a 1:50 to 1:150 ratio. Allow it to react briefly, rinse the product thoroughly off to avoid stains. Cool. So it does say to mix for 1 dilution. Don't keep it in the foam cannon. Once again, we're having to kind of guess, which I don't like. Oh, that's about right. We're just not going to let it dry on the vehicle. That way we don't have any problems. So I'd say between the sealant and the coating, it's working pretty nicely. All right, y'all, so we have the spray sealant on. Let's go ahead and get everything dried off. And we're gonna use one of my top 2 favorite drying towels in the world, the Rag Company's 1500. Although I did ask them if they would get this in a blue one day. They said they were always working on things, so we'll see. Anthony, I want this 1500 in blue. I love the gauntlet as well. That's my other favorite. All right, y'all, we're almost done. We're down to door jambs, which aren't too bad. Like I was saying earlier, it's nice when you've done a vehicle and you've kind of gotten it to a certain point. They're like typical dirty now. So anyways, we have our door jambs, and then we've got the glass. And so for our door jambs, I like to use a rinseless wash. So since we're using Koch Chemie products, we're going to be using their rinseless wash, which I actually still have not yet used. I've had it sitting on my shelf for a couple months. So looking forward to using that. So we're gonna get that ready in the IK sprayer. And then also for our glass, we're gonna use their glass cleaner, which honestly, slept on, guys. It's very, very good. So we'll be using that and let you guys see how it works with a Koch Chemie glass towel. So we're going all the way, like we said, y'all. Anyways, let's grab our products. All right, so we have our Koch Chemie Rapid Rinseless Wash, which is a pH 4. All right, so we've got our IK sprayer. We'll add some water. And man, like I've been saying, I really wish I had my measuring cup with me, and I don't. Another thing I like about being at my home garage, but I'll pack it with me next time. So we're kind of doing an estimate. The specific dilution ratio is a 250 6:1, which is pretty standard in the rinseless wash world. So we're gonna get a microfiber towel, the old standard Rag Company car wash towels, our rapid rinseless wash, and our IK sprayer. Let's go. All right, guys, so if the door jambs are really bad, and I mean like really bad, like they're muddy and stuff, you know, maybe the first time I've done the vehicle, or it's just pretty trashed, I am going to usually take the pressure washer when I'm washing the vehicle and go very carefully in the door jambs. This just doesn't need it, you know. It's you can go back, you can touch up with a rinseless wash, which, by the way, no complaints about this. It's nice and slick, which is what you're looking for. Historically, I've been a huge fan of the Absolute rinseless wash, and that's kind of my go-to for door jambs and stuff. I think it has the absolute best smell. So, not that that's everything, it also works well. Very slick. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with this one. Seems to be cleaning well, which is, you know, also what you want in a rinseless wash, which is why it works so well as a quick detailer. All right, last but not least, we are going to clean the glass. So we have Koch Chemie glass cleaner. All right, so also another product that you might want to check out is their all-around surface cleaner. This is great for some of the other materials that we might have missed in the detail, and go back, hit the fingerprints and stuff like that. So definitely don't overlook the all-around surface cleaner. But for now, I'm just gonna drop shit. All right, we're gonna use the glass cleaner. Let's go, guys. So cleaning the nav screen is also a final touch that I do. I do it when I'm cleaning the glass because I'm not using an interior cleaner on that, and I want a very, very clean microfiber. So definitely hit that last. I recommend doing that with your final touches. All right, y'all, so we're all done with the detail. I think it turned out pretty amazing. What about you? Y'all, thank you so much for watching. Next time we'll do an entire new product line on a full detail. So stay tuned, and if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.